Hey, welcome folks. Mil-Spec Osmic here. This is going to be your Monkey Minute for November 21st, 2021. And without further ado, let's kind of break into what's going on around the world. Now, remember, Matthew 24 tells us that nation will rise up against nation and kingdom against kingdom. That word nation means ethnos, is the root word for that in Greek, which means people will rise up against people. It also tells us that the love of many will grow cold due to an increase of wickedness. And so let's look at what's going on around the world right now. Now, you guys may remember last week we had the case with Kyle Rittenhouse being acquitted. And since then, we've actually got protests going on. They've been observed in downtown Brooklyn, New York, Boston, Massachusetts, Chicago, as well as Portland. Now, you're probably going to see more of this going on. I would imagine riot season is now upon us. But that, folks, is textbook of what's going to happen according to the Bible. And so we're seeing this increase every year. All right. Now, let's get over here. Let's talk a little bit more about Iran having a water shortage. They're saying this is the worst drought they've had in 50 years. And farmers are now starting to protest because water is being diverted from their source. And so keep your eye on Iran, because that location just seems to be getting heated day by day. And so these guys are going to be a key player when it comes to the end times. They're part of Gog and Magog and that alliance that we've talked about so much in the past. Now, continuing on over in the Middle East, it looks like the Vatican has now awarded Mohammed bin Zayed the Man of Humanity based on his work in pulling together this one world religion complex center, as well as the Abraham Accord aspect of it. He's also been recognized, he just got awarded this weekend as well, the Scholar Statesman Award for the Israeli peace deal aspect of that. And that's all part of that Abraham Accord. Now, those not familiar with the Abraham Accord, remember, this was part of Team Trump that put this original thing together. And it basically, their goal or their mandate was that they would pursue a vision of peace, security, and prosperity in the Middle East and around the world. Since then, we've had agreements with Bahrain, Morocco, UAE, and Sudan, as well as many other countries showing interest in growing that. Now, I do believe that this peace agreement will eventually be the one that the Antichrist comes in and confirms a covenant with many in due time. And so the groundwork has been laid, and so keep your eye on that one. Now, the reason it's important to understand why it's being called the Abraham Accord, if you know the story of Abraham and Sarah, they weren't able to conceive a child. And so what happened was Abraham laid down with Hagar, who was Sarah's handmaiden or slave, and conceived a child named Ishmael. Well, later on, Sarah was able to conceive, and they had Isaac. And so Isaac is the true bloodline of Abraham. Well, if you go back into history, there's always been a strife between Isaac and Ishmael, right? Ishmael is the bloodline that takes on Islam through Muhammad. And then you've got Isaac, which took on the bloodline for Jesus and Christianity. And so there's been strife for thousands and thousands of years. And the reason they go back to this Abraham Accord is because it precedes the strife, okay? And so that's how this is all coming together. So keep your eye on this one. This will eventually become, I believe, the 7-year peace treaty that is confirmed by the Antichrist. All right, now over to natural disasters. Let's check out what's going on in Egypt. They had a storm that hit over the weekend that flooded many parts of Egypt, and it actually caused a scorpion infestation. 3 people were killed and over 500 hospitalized due to these scorpion stings. All right, and to wrap things up, let's head over to India, southern India to be exact, where 26 people have been killed and over 100 remain missing due to heavy rains and flooding over the past couple of days. They're saying that many homes, roads, and bridges have been damaged and or destroyed, and that livestock was swept away. So, all right, well, listen, if you're concerned about your salvation as you watch things take shape around this planet, just remember, it's as easy as ABC. A, admit that you're a sinner. B, believe that Jesus died for those sins. And C, call on his name and confess those sins. Simple way. All right, listen, may God bless you and keep you and shine his face upon you. Monkey out. and check out the latest gear and products at monkeywerxus.com.